Yo, what's going on, guys? The Kitty G on EGTV, and today's the Leicester v Arsenal preview. I have a Leicester fan with me, and we're gonna go through it together. We're gonna go through our predicted lineup. We're gonna talk about a little bit about Saliba's future. I'm gonna have three Leicester fans coming through to give us their takes on the game. Plus, I'm gonna have some Arsenal fans coming through to give their takes on the game also. If you guys could do me a favor, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. And while we're at it, let you guys know on Facebook, if you want to come join us to watch the rest of the video, all you have to do is click on that link for the video right there. Thank you. So yeah, this video is ending on Facebook. It will continue on YouTube. Come join us there exclusively on YouTube. Thank you. Okay, let's get this show going. And you already know what it is, guys. Kitty G on EGTV. Bye. Yes, people. How you guys doing? How is everyone doing today? So Leicester versus Arsenal. So I had to bring a Leicester fan on to talk about Leicester and everything going on around Leicester. Jack, how you doing?
Yeah, good, mate. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. Tell me, man, how you been? How's everything going on with you? How's Leicester do? How's the Leicester team looking? What's going on with Leicester, man?
Yeah, Leicester not had the greatest start to the season beforehand. I mean, we beat Wolves, beat Norwich, but we didn't really pick up results. After that, you're losing to Legia Warsaw in the Europa League, which is a defeat you wouldn't really expect. You'd expect to go and beat teams like that, but now we've turned form around, going to and beat Manchester United 4-2, a Cristiano Ronaldo side where we kept him quiet throughout the whole thing. We beat Spartak Moscow 4 goals from the Zambian magician in Patsandaka. We went and beat Brighton on penalties and got through to the quarterfinals like you guys. Obviously beat Leeds 2-0. And then we beat a Brentford side who's very good at home and very well drilled. We got a 2-1 win there at the Brentford Community Stadium, which was a fantastic win to move us 3 points behind West Ham, who's in 4th.
There you go. And also, big up to everybody watching. If you haven't already done so, smash that like button. And while you're at it, check out the link at the top of the link in the top of the comment section for the Discord group called the Gooner World Discord group. Check that out. We're working closely with them. But yeah, Jack, as I was saying, what's going on with Leicester? Because you guys have been looking poor, as you said. You guys have had mixed results in the Europa League, right? And Patsandaka just had scored 4 goals, which is really good. Jamie Vardy has been on good form. Recently got injured, but he's going to be okay for this game. Tielemans is on the form of his life. Madison is on poor form. What's causing this mixed season? And also now you're hearing reports of your manager could go to Manchester United. Like it's just going crazy over there at Leicester.
Yeah. It's been we've had the downs and now the ups. I mean, I don't believe in a lot of crap in Brendan Rodgers going to Manchester United, just like he got linked with Newcastle. It's just paper talk, rumours. You know, they have to make a story somewhere. And Brendan Rodgers, you know, is a high caliber manager. Anyone would love Brendan Rodgers at their football team. Brendan Rodgers is not going to leave Leicester. He's here for the long run. Like he said, he's very committed here, loves it at Leicester. So I can't see him going anywhere anytime soon. Like you say, Leicester, you know, we've had injuries in Fofana, Johnny Evans. We've had mixed bag of injuries. I mean, Yannick Vestergaard and Sionchu, you know, they went walkabouts for a very long time before Johnny Evans come back. We missed Johnny Evans massively in defence. We needed that leader. And now we've got him back. We're better than ever. I mean, Johnny Evans was the missing piece to Leicester's winning form at the start of the season. Obviously, missing him is a massive key part. Obviously, Wilfred Ndidi's been out as well. So, obviously, Samer's had to step in Wilfred Ndidi's big boots, and he's done that tremendously. Youri Tielemans is picking up form now. 2 bangers in 2 Premier League games for Yuri Tillemans, one against Brentford and one against Manchester United. Maddison, you know, linked with Arsenal for 60, 70 million pound in the summer. You know, his head wasn't right. Fitness wise wasn't right either. And yeah, James Maddison now he's 75% better than what he was at the start of the season. You know, he's doing his football talking now on the pitch and he's becoming the player we know James Maddison can be. So yeah, we've got a good run of form going now and hopefully we can continue that on Saturday lunchtime when we play the Arsenal at the King Power Stadium.
There you go. There you go. Big up Gunner Express. We got Gunner Express in the house also. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man.
Chilling. If you remember, Jack, last time we spoke, things were different. Arsenal were the team that was struggling. Leicester were solidified in the top 4, and it looked like you guys were going to get top 4. Do you think you guys can compete for top 4 again this year, or you think it's going to be struggle?
It's a difficult one to say. Manchester City, you know, they brought Grealish in for £100 million. He seems a very good player. Fitting well at Manchester City, you've got to fit in well with Pep Guardiola or you get dropped. You know, you've got to prove your worth. And I think Grealish at the minute is doing that at Manchester City. Aston Villa are missing him massively, as you can see. You know, they've not got that creative spark what Jack Grealish did. I think they counted too much on him, Aston Villa. Liverpool, you know, Mo Salah is running the show. They'll be up there this season as well. Man United, you know, thought they were going to be in a trophy hunt this season for going for the league. I don't think so. They've got a manager who isn't a manager. They bought Cristiano Ronaldo in for instant success, and they're not quite getting that, are they? 36-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo. Yes, he's won everything in his career, but, you know, you can't expect to do it with just one player. There's 11 players on the pitch, and you just can't count on one player. I mean, Chelsea, fantastic. You know, they've brought well. Romelu Lukaku's come in. He's scoring goals. Obviously, he's injured at the minute, and so is Timo Werner. It's difficult for top 4 at the minute. West Ham are performing very well. Credit to them. They're doing very well. Tottenham, you know, what do you expect from Tottenham? Really, 4,996 days without a trophy now. Nearly 5,000. So, you know, when's that trophy going to come for them? Their trophy cabinet looks empty. I think Leicester, you know, like I said at the start of the season, top 6 for me, and a good run in the Europa League. So that's my prediction for Leicester this season, top 6 finish.
Yo, Gunner Express, do you have any question that you might want to ask?
Not particularly.
Okay. What's your thoughts on the game, Gunner Express, going forward? Before
for
going
Leicester
into
and
this
Arsenal?
game, are you worried?
Yes, because Leicester are one of the best teams in the Premier League, whether people want to accept it or not. They're the best run team in the Premier League behind Man City. Obviously, we know why they're the best, though, because of the oil money. But yeah, of course, I'm scared. They've got great players. They've got a lot of players that would walk into the Arsenal team right now, especially in midfield or even in attack. We know Jamie Vardy absolutely loves a goal against Arsenal. And obviously, he's on the form of his life again right now. When you think he's slowing down, he proves you wrong again. But yeah, in terms of like, do I think Arsenal can win? Of course I do. The only thing I worry about is obviously how good Leicester's defence will be, because we're not scoring a lot of goals still right now. Even though Aubameyang is scoring goals, I still don't see him as a prolific goal scorer like he has been in the past. So for me, it's a matter of who has the best defence, whose defence will crumble first, and I think that will be Leicester's, because our defence has been impeccable over the last 7 or 8 games. So it's just a matter of who can last the longest, and obviously who's going to put the most pressure on. And that's one thing that I do hope Arsenal will do, which is keep that pressure on. We did it against Villa, and look at how it turned out. So just keep the pressure on, and eventually we'll break them down. But yeah, it should be a very close game.
There you go. People in the comment section, big up Cams, big up D-Star, big up all the people in the chat. Jack, I'm going to ask you right now, since Gunner Express is here, Jack is here, score predictions, and we're just going to, and from there, we're just going to shift off into our predicted lineups with Gunner Express. Jack, I know you got to go in the next couple of minutes, so just give us your score predictions and tell me how many Arsenal players get into your Leicester team?
Not many. You can have Yannick Vestergaard. You know, we don't want him at Leicester. £15 million for him? I don't think so.
No. I don't
Southampton
mean
robbers
that.
it.
I mean, how many? If we've done combined 11s before,
Yeah.
so I'm just gonna go through it quickly. Goalkeeper, you're taking your goalkeeper over
Yeah,
Ramsdale.
I'm gonna set Schmeichel over Ramsdale. I don't rate Ramsdale at all.
Ricardo Pereira, or right
Yeah.
back. Centre back pairing. I'm taking Gabriel, Gabriel and Johnny Evans.
I'm gonna say Johnny Evans and Kagalar Sionchu.
I don't know if Sionchu's been that good lately.
With Johnny Evans, he's class. With Vestergaard, he isn't. So it proves different when Johnny Evans plays.
Well, Gabriel is good with Rob Holding, so I'm pretty sure he passes that test. Good Express, do you agree?
Yeah, for me it's Evans and Gabriel.
There you go. So left back, I'm taking Tierney. I'm sorry. Even Tavares I think would get in over Justin or Thing.
Nah, if James Justin, you seen him last season, absolutely excellent season last season. You know, James Justin looks very classy for what we brought him for. He stood up from League One level, League Two level, wherever you wanted to put Luton, and he's done very well. Tierney is fantastic left back. You know, he runs the show at Arsenal in defence. I'd probably say he's one of your best defenders. He's quick and he knows how to take people on. But Timothy Castagne, you know, he's very good as well, who can play in that position. So it's going to be very tight to who you want to pick in that position.
Okay, so Gunnar Express, who are you taking for left back?
Yeah, Kieran Tierney.
What?
Kieran Tierney's clear of Justin and Castagne.
Okay. So can we just move on to the next position? Is that fine?
Go
okay.
on.
Midfield.
Yeah,
Thomas Partey, Tielemans, and Ndidi. If you have to pay, would you go with that three, or what would you do?
What formation is it? 4-3-3.
Yeah, 4-3-3.
Yeah, Ndidi, Partey, and Tielemans.
Do you agree with that?
See, I don't think.
Go ahead.
I don't think Partey's lived up to expectations of what Arsenal's brought him for. You know, really this exciting midfielder. I don't think he's shown that enough at Arsenal for Arsenal fans. Really thought the player that they was getting for that price. I don't think he's lived up to the Premier League expectations either of what Mikel Arteta wants either. I'm going to say Wilfred Ndidi, Tielemans, and Maddison.
Wait. So you're putting Maddison in there? This season, Maddison's been garbage, mate.
Yeah, but if you go on Maddison's Premier League altogether, rather than Thomas Partey's games that he's played, Maddison's been far better.
I mean, if we're going off this season, Tierney don't get in there. Tierney has not been as good as Justin this season, but as an overall player, Tierney's better.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it kind of depends. The reason I put Partey in is because, again, as an overall footballer, he's still one of the best midfielders in the league. Obviously, for Arsenal, he hasn't been that good. Maddison, I do like Maddison. I still would have taken him over Odegaard. I don't care what Dizzy says. But I don't know. I think it's a toss-up. You could take, as long as Tielemans is definitely in there, I think he's solidified in there. You could possibly even drag Ndidi out and have Partey and Maddison. Because I don't think Ndidi's as good as people make out he is, especially on the ball. He's woeful on the ball. So it's a sticky one, really. But yeah, the moral of the story is not many Arsenal players get in. Like, Leicester dominate the midfield for me.
What about Samara?
So who's in that 10 spot? I think Smith Rowe deserves a shout.
I don't know. I don't think so. Not yet. I think Smith Rowe has been better on the. I mean, I don't know. I mean, on Samara, I love Samara. I wanted him at Arsenal. When you guys got him, I said it was a bargain. I still think it is. I still think he's one of the best young midfielders on the planet. So I think he's a great player. I don't think he's done much yet in the Premier League, but you can't really blame him because obviously he's new to it. He's still quite young, and as well with your guys' like injuries, he's not exactly been in the best Leicester team he can play in. But I think he's a really good player. But I mean, the midfield's the hardest one because again, Smith Rowe has a shout, but as an overall player, has he proved he's better than Maddison yet? Arguably no, but again, he's better on form now, so it's a difficult one, man. I mean,
are we going to shoehorn Vardy and Aubameyang together?
I mean, my three midfield, I'll just say quickly, mine's Maddison, Partey, and Tielemans. I don't put Ndidi in there.
Okay. Next, front three. I'll start with you, Jack.
I'm gonna put Jamie Vardy in there. You know, are you guys going for left wing and right wing, or do you want to go to up front?
It's up to you, really. Why is Gabriel my right back?
I mean, 100% Jamie Vardy's getting in there over Aubameyang. I'm not bothered.
Oh yeah.
No, I think you could shoehorn both of them in there.
I mean, you could put Aubameyang left wing, even though he's not a good left winger. You could because I agree that Aubameyang. When I say Vardy should be in there over him, I think Vardy's a better. Like he's been better in the Premier League, but Aubameyang still deserves to. I don't know. I mean, you could play two up front. You go.
What?
Can you not do a formation with two up front?
Definitely could do that. 1 second. Let me just sort this out. I can't figure out how to spell Tierney's name. Okay. I think Aubameyang would just go on the left flank. And right flank would be Saka. Do you agree?
I mean, yeah, I don't disagree.
I think this would be my team. Vardy, and then left wing will be Aubameyang.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So, what do you think about that?
Yeah, Vardy, I can agree with. Saka, he was very good in the Euros for England. Fantastic young player, young prospect. I definitely have Saka as a winger because I don't think Harvey Barnes has had a great season so far, but obviously he's coming back from a serious injury, what he got against you guys last season. You know, it's going to take Harvey Barnes time to get fit again, but, you know, it's patience that you wait on him. But yeah, I'd go for Saka right now. I think he's been incredible for Arsenal, unsung hero. Aubameyang, what do you say about Aubameyang? Yes, he can score goals in front of goal, but I don't think he's been the player that you guys expect him since he signed that new contract. I just think Iheanacho has been better overall.
Yeah, no, you have to look at expectations and what he's delivered. He's gotten more goals than Iheanacho, and we expect him to. And realistically, what we expect from him is 20 goals. He got, I think, 14 goals last year. Aubameyang's worst season is still Iheanacho's best season. Let's be honest.
I think Iheanacho scored 19 last season.
Did he? In all competitions?
Yeah,
or is
19.
that just the Premier League?
19. I think that were in the Prem.
No way he had 19 goals
all
in the Prem.
competition, because Vardy set him up quite a lot last season. He scored some
You're
right
telling me
bangers.
Iheanacho had 19 goals in the Premier League last year?
Either either Premier League or in all competition. He scored that amount of goals last season. He scored quite a lot. But then you got to think of his cup goals as well. His cup goals come into play. Kelechi this season, you know, he's...
Yes? Are you still there? Yo, Gunnar Express, you still there?
Yeah, I think he's frozen.
I think his thing lagged. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. There's no way he had 19 goals in the Prem last year. Iheanacho had 12 goals. Iheanacho had 12 goals, man.
All competition then, yeah, 19.
Yeah, Iheanacho had 12 goals in the league last year. Aubameyang had 1 second. What did Aubameyang have last year in the Premier League? Did he have 10 goals?
Was he injured part of last season as well, Aubameyang?
Aubameyang was poor last year. Iheanacho had 10. Iheanacho had 12. Lacazette had 13. And you know what we think about Lacazette. Honestly, it's not only about the goals for me. You can score goals and not have a full impact over the game, majority of the game. You could be scoring penalties. You know what I mean? For me, when it comes to picking the front three, we have to look at longevity and also what they've been doing lately. So, for example, you can say if you look at Tielemans, you can say based on what he's been doing lately and his whole time in the Premier League, he's up. Maddison, we put him in there even though he's been having a tough time. Jamie Vardy, we put him in there. Even though Johnny Evans has been injured, at times throughout the season. We still put him in there because we're not judging him only on this season. Tierney, the same thing. Ramsdale's been better than Kasper Schmeichel, if you really think about it. But we're not putting Ramsdale in there because Kasper Schmeichel is the better goalkeeper. So at the moment, this would be the combined 11. Do you guys agree?
Yeah, I think I just might let you have it. You know, if you're going to go on a long term in the Premier League, then it's obviously got to be Aubameyang, hasn't it?
If we go based on form,
if you go on form, how many has Aubameyang scored this season?
7 goals, all comps.
How many has Kel scored?
How many what?
I don't know how many Kel scored this season. What do you guys think to Patson Daka?
Patson Daka does not get into this combined 11. But he's a really good player, and I wanted Patson Daka. Ask Gunnar Express. I spoke a lot about Patson Daka on my channel. Gunnar Express, what about you? What do you think about Patson Daka?
Nice. He's a really. I mean, I'll say I didn't want him at Arsenal, not because I didn't think he was a good player, but there was other striking options that I wanted. Obviously, we didn't get any of them. But yeah, he's been really good. He's lived up to the expectations that I had of him. I'm gonna lie. What I thought Leicester would do was, I think obviously Vardy's quite old now, so they're going to end up trying to eventually move him on whenever he stops scoring goals. And Daka is one for the future for Leicester, I think. Obviously, just being around Jamie Vardy is going to be good enough for him. And obviously, he played really well in the Europa League when he was it 4 goals he scored in that match?
Yeah, 4 goals against Spartak Moscow.
Let's see what people are saying in the comment section. Samari hasn't done fuck all season yet. Aubameyang, Vardy, and Pepe on the right. I'm sorry, Pepe. I would rather Saka or Scotty or Harvey Barnes over Pepe.
Harvey Barnes,
Pepe's nowhere near.
This guy says Casper, Pereira, Evans, Gabriel, Justin, Ndidi, Tillemans, ESR, Saka, Vardy, and Harvey Barnes. Interesting team there. Someone said Ndidi is back and ready. Actually, Harvey Barnes on the right wing. You know what? Some people are saying Harvey Barnes on the right wing. ESR for Madison. Some people are saying. I think ESR for Madison is fair. I personally would not go with this team. The changes I would have made to this team, let me show you. This is the changes I would have made. I would have taken Madison out, and I would have gone Smith Rowe. Right? But then based on that, I would also have to take Tierney out and put in Justin.
I'll agree with that.
I mean, this is what I'm saying. Like, if we're doing it off of current form, then obviously Smith Rowe's in there. But if we're doing it as just an overall better player, Maddison's still better than Smith Rowe as of right now. Yeah. Smith Rowe can obviously overtake him, but with Smith Rowe only being 2021.
So if we do on form, would this be the team on form? Oh wait, on form though, Ramsdale's in.
Oh yeah, on form this changes drastically.
On form, Ramsdale's in.
Yeah, 100%. And then Justin's out for Tierney. Justin's in for Tierney, which you've already done. Pereira's probably.
Is there any other changes that needs to be done on form? Because Aubameyang still has more goals than everyone else. Jack, do you think this is just us being Arsenal fans trying to convince you? But
you guys will have the old Arsenal 11 if you had the chance. But.
Technically,
if you guys are going on form, then obviously Saka's going to be there, isn't he? Smith Rowe's going to be there, but Maddison's the better player. Smith Rowe's still got a lot to learn
this season.
James Justin's injured, mate. He ain't been in the team since Brighton in the cup last season.
Okay, so on form, then it can't be him.
So.
Then it's Castagna.
Yeah, and then right back it's Tomiyasu.
How do you guys want to do this? Do you guys want to go on long-term thing, or do you guys want to go on form?
I mean, yeah, that's the question. What we doing on form?
I'd go long-term, and I just think most of the Arsenal players won't get in there. I mean, you guys haven't really played well throughout.
It's crazy how different the team
look at your last season, isn't it?
It's crazy how different the team looks on form. Is Johnny Evans on form?
Johnny Evans, he was on form until he got his foot injury, and now he's come back and now he's on form again. I mean, last season when we spoke, most of the Leicester players would have said got in the Arsenal squad. This season, if you're going to go on form, then obviously, how many games are you guys unbeaten now?
Like 8.
So if you looked at last season and the season before, Arsenal were poor all over the place. You know, the one did Arteta out and everything. I mean, most of the Leicester players would beat that Arsenal squad with ease. I
Yeah,
think
someone
most of
said
the Leicester players would get in. So where do you want to go? Do you want to go on form or do you want to go long term? Because if it's long term, most of the Leicester players would get in that squad still. Even Harvey Barnes over Aubameyang or Saka.
yeah, we're just kind of having fun. I'm not gonna lie. I personally think Castagna does not get into my combined 11. Kieran Tierney, this would be my combined 11 personally.
Yeah.
Pretty much would stay the same. Ricardo Pereira would be in, as I said earlier. I would have Casper. Casper would be my the goalkeeper out of Ramsdale. I would have Tierney. I'd have Tierney. I think Ricardo Pereira over Tomiyasu. But has Ricardo Pereira played? When was the last time Ricardo Pereira played a game?
Ricardo's played most of this season. I think he was on the bench for the Brighton Cup game, but then he came on. Ricardo, you know, he struggled with injury. I think it was near the end of last season, but then
Express, you would have a better understanding. I've watched Leicester, but I could only based on the fact that he's been in the league longer. I'm putting Ricardo Pereira over Tomiyasu. Do you agree?
Yeah, as an overall player, Pereira's still better. He's still one of the best right backs in the league. This season, he hasn't been too good, but again, Leicester's issues this season have been down to. I mean, you said it earlier, bro. Like it's Vestergaard. That guy has been crap, like really crap.
it's the defense. It's the defense what's caused Leicester problems this season.
Yeah, and it's
where Johnny Evans
Johnny
hasn't been in, and
being out.
Vestergaard's had to fill in.
100%. Yeah, like it's
Vestergaard's just crap.
100%, and that's why I said Pereira's still a better player. I think Tomiyasu, look, he's done well. I still don't think he's had a standout performance yet for Arsenal, but he's been good. Again, he's still young. He's on the right track to being a good right back, and that's what we need to focus on as Arsenal fans. Is just let these players grow. But yeah, Pereira's still a better overall player. But if you're talking about on form this season, I'd say Tomiyasu's been better. But again, not as
Man said Harvey Barnes over Saka long term. Do me
Hands
a favor. Oh, they're having their own arguments. Okay. Understood. Guys, we'll come back to that in a bit. But yeah, Jack, I know you got to go. So what was your prediction for the game?
I'm going to go 3-1 Leicester. I think this game, it'll be very, I think there'll be quite a lot of chances. It's going to be an entertaining game. I mean, we need to win that midfield battle. If we can win that midfield battle with Tielemans and Samare against Partey or whoever you want to put next to Partey, then I think Leicester will go and win the game. I mean, if Johnny Evans plays Amati, Caglar Juntra is that back three again, Ricardo and Castagna, I think we can win the game. We'll defend well. As long as Vestergaard stays away from the team, I think we'll win the game, Vardy loves a goal against the Arsenal. You guys hate him. So he'll love a goal. So I think he'll score tomorrow. Iheanacho, he's going to be very running your defence sort of thing and holding the ball up. And obviously, if Daka comes on in that second half with fresh legs, I think you guys are going to trouble with pace come tomorrow.
Oh, we lost him again. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, okay. So what were you saying? So, Gunner Express, do you agree? 3-1?
Nah. Obviously, being an Arsenal fan, I'm going to be obviously heavily biased towards us. But I mean, look, again, as I said at the beginning, it's going to be a very close game. Both teams are on a run of form. What I mean by that is Leicester have started to get their form back. They beat Man United. I think they obviously won their next game. They just beat Brighton. We're obviously on a 8 or 9 game unbeaten run now. So I mean, again, it's a battle. Yeah, it's a battle of the defenses for me. Whose defense will crumble first? Because look, our main positive area has been defense. Yours has been attack with Jamie Vardy, with Iheanacho, with Daka, etc. Our weak point has been the attack. Your weak point's been the defense. So it's a matter of, will Arsenal be able to click together? Will we be able to keep the pressure on? Can we get Aubameyang? I mean, look, in terms of our lineup, I want to keep the exact same as what we had against Aston Villa. with that, if Arteta plays that formation, that lineup, those players, and keeps everything the same as what we did against Villa, I see a win for Arsenal. I'm going to go 2-1. Vardy will get his goal. He always scores against us. And then we'll win the game, but it'll be very close throughout. So, 2-1 win to Arsenal.
There you go. 2-1 win to Arsenal. That's what Gunnar Express said. Jack, you have yourself a wonderful day, man. I'll catch you after the game if you ever want to come on again for the home leg. Okay?
All right, mate. No worries. Cheers for having me on.
No worries.
Big up, chat, man.
And big up to everyone in the chat. Do me a favor, guys. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you guys are new. And if you haven't already done that, do that right now. It takes 2 seconds at a time. Peace out, Jack. All right, yo, Gunnar Express, 1 second. I'm just gonna go cut to a shared video here. So I'm just gonna mute everybody and you guys watch this video. Sorry about that, guys. Just to let you know a little bit of backstory, who this is, and what I'm about to show you. I'm showing you guys one of my guys, one of the boys from. He has his own YouTube channel. He's a Leicester fan called Ant, Leicester Fan TV. So go check him out. He does Leicester content, and I'm gonna be showing you guys a video of his that he sent me just now. 1 second. Let me get the video file, and let's get this going.
So mate, cheers for having me on for this preview. So obviously Arsenal heading to the King Power on Saturday, 12:30 kickoff. Awful time for football. Absolutely hate the early kickoffs. Just absolute nightmare. But it's the cards that we've been dealt, so we've got to get on with it. So obviously heading into this one, both teams have had a bit of an upturn in form over recent weeks. So I'm not going to get into Arsenal too much. Obviously Arsenal channel, I'm sure you'll go into that into enough detail. But in terms of the Leicester side of things, so last time out, we beat Brentford, went away to Brentford, and you guys know how difficult a place that was to go. Obviously, you guys losing out on the opening day, but we managed to get a 2-1 win. Yuri Tielemans with an absolute thunderbolt of a goal, and then Maddison again scoring. So Maddison's starting to find some form. It's been a slow start to the season for him, but he's starting to find form. I think he struggled a little bit with injury at the start of the season, which might be why it's taken him a little bit of time. But before that, going away to Spartak Moscow, Daka scoring 4 goals in that game. Absolutely ridiculous performance from him. And then before that, turning United over at home. And I think one of the big changes for us was getting Johnny Evans back. I think I would argue with anyone, he's our best centre back. And it's that leadership at the back that we've missed, which is why I think we were leaking so many goals and looked so poor at the back before Johnny Evans was there. But we've gone to the 3 at the back with Siunchu and Amati as the other 2 centre-backs. And yes, we're still conceding goals, but nowhere near to the level we were before. So having Johnny Evans back is absolutely crucial. That player at the back who's going to command, be the leader, and really be like that assertive figure at the back. Because Siunchu is one of those players that he needs someone more senior alongside him at the back, someone to guide him through the games. And like when he's the main centre back and he's the sort of the leader of the back line, it can go quite badly. He can overcommit and stuff. But having Evans next to him, talking him through the games and being that leader, it sounds so basic, but only Leicester fans will really understand what I mean. He's honestly a completely different player when he plays with Evans and without him. But in terms of this game, it's obviously going to be a very difficult game. And tomorrow, it's a bit of an emotional game for Leicester and a lot of all Leicester fans and the players. It's the 3-year anniversary since Vichai has passed. Well, that was on Thursday, but there'll be remembrance stuff going on all throughout before the game and stuff. So that will be emotional. So the crowd should be right up for it. I'm hoping the players will be right up for it. So that could make it a bit of a more difficult game for Arsenal coming to obviously play in that atmosphere. But in terms of the starting lineup for Leicester, so I'm predicting it's going to be unchanged. Bear in mind, I haven't watched Brendan Rodgers' press conference yet, so I don't know if there's any extra injuries. So unchanged from last week, which is Schmeichel in goal and captain. Right back, Ricardo Pereira with Sionchu, Evans and Daniel Amati as the back three. At left wing back, it will be Castagnier with Samori and Tielemans as that double. I think indeed he's been in training. I don't know if he'll be back or not. And to be honest, even if he is back, I wouldn't be surprised if we only saw 5-10 minutes from him at the end of the game, because Samori's been very, very good. So it would be very unfair to drop him, particularly for a player who hasn't played for a few weeks, and he probably isn't at match fitness yet. But then, as we get into the attacking option, so we've got James Maddison, obviously the man that you thought you were signing in the summer. Had to get that one in there, mate. But yeah, Maddison's starting to find form at 10, so I'm hoping he can really rise to this occasion. Obviously, there's been a lot of talk around him since the start of the season, so it would be good if he could have a good game. And then the strike partnership, Kelechi Iheanacho, Jamie Vardy. So those two, they really complement each other very well. Jamie Vardy, obviously, you guys know about Vardy. He's carried on again this year's brilliant scoring form. Every year it's, this will be Vardy's last year, this will be his last year doing it. 34 now, been hearing it for the last 4 years, and he's adapting his game and he is evolving, but he's having a brilliant season. And then Iheanacho, anyone who follows me on Twitter will know how much I love Iheanacho. I think he's probably our most underrated player. He's that link man almost, but he can play with his back to goal. He can bring other players into the game. So he gets as many assists as he does goals, and that partnership, they complement each other so well. But in terms of score prediction, I'm going to go with a 2-1 Leicester. I'm feeling good for this one. I'm expecting it to be a very difficult game, but I've just got a good feeling about it. But anyway, cheers for having me on for this preview, mate. I really do appreciate it, and hopefully we'll catch up sometime soon.
All right, that was Ant, and he is a Leicester fan. I hope you guys enjoyed that little bit. I got one more Leicester fan coming through, but before they come through, Gunner Express, we got to talk about Saliba. What's going on, bro? Why is everyone talking about Saliba's future? You want to know why? Arteta spoke about Saliba's future, and today, we know Sam, big Saliba fan, was putting out there, how do you rate these three center backs? So what do you think about that tweet that he did? Because I think it's definitely something to think about. Saliba, Ben White, Gabriel all being compared to each other. Everyone talking about Saliba possibly coming into this team, who he kicks out of the starting 11. And what do you think, bro? Saliba, Ben White. Why do we keep comparing?
I just want to say the Saliba hive is closed. If you weren't on the hive train anyway, you aren't invited. I saw so many Arsenal fans giving Saliba hate for no reason. And he's proving everybody wrong. He's proving the manager wrong. He's proving every single person that doubted him wrong. He is one of the greatest centre-backs in terms of potential on the planet right now. I don't care what anybody says about that. The maturity that Saliba shows at a young age is incredible. The fact that he's able to play against Mbappe, Neymar, Di Maria, Messi, and act like it's just another week, like it's nothing special, proves to me that he has, the mentality to play in the Premier League, to play in the Champions League, and to win the biggest of trophies. But in terms of what Sam tweeted out, I've actually quote tweeted it myself. If we're going off potential, Saliba's at the top. He's miles ahead in terms of potential over Gabriel and White. Then Gabriel's second, then White's third in terms of potential. Currently, I'd say Gabriel's the best of the three. Then Saliba, then Ben White. I see a lot of people trying to tell me that Ben White's better than Saliba right now. He's not. Saliba has incredibly better stats, because I know a lot of people don't watch him, so we have to bring stats up. But if you do watch him, like I watch most of his games, I think Dizzy's watched quite a lot of him as well. He's been incredible. Everything that Saliba's done is incredible. The thing that I like about it is consistency. It's consistently good performances. Something that Arsenal need from our players is just consistently good performances. Look, if it was up to me, I'd have brought him back in January, and then I'd play him over Ben White. I don't see that happening though, so I see him coming back in the summer. For me, again, I'd still play him over Ben White the way that they're both playing right now. So I'd have a Gabriel-Saliba partnership. However, I don't think Arteta is going to do that. But at the end of the day, most elite teams have 3 good centre-backs. So us having 3 good centre-backs is not an issue at all. Again, it opens up that competition that each team needs and in each position. Gabriel is not undroppable. Ben White's not undroppable. Saliba's not undroppable. So having 3 centre backs that have all got very good potential, that are all very good now, there's nothing wrong with that. And again, I'm happy that Saliba's doing well at Marseille, not just in the French
do you
league.
believe that his future is at Arsenal next season, or do you think we will end up selling him? Because a lot of people have said Saliba's future is still questionable, and I don't believe it for a second until I see it. But even remember when I had the gentleman from Arsenal Vision podcast on, he said it himself. He feels like Saliba will never kick a ball for Arsenal, and then things keep changing. Everyone every week it just keeps changing. In my opinion, as of right now, I feel like Arteta, Edu were in Paris to watch that game, or was it a home game or away game?
It was at the Parc de France. I'm quite sure.
Okay, so yeah, so it was in Paris. So yeah, what do you think? They went to Paris to watch that game.
I don't think Arteta did. I think Edu did and someone else did. I don't think Arteta did though. But I mean, look, I don't know. I mean, Saliba, in terms of does Saliba deserve to play for Arsenal, and should he? Absolutely, absolutely, he should be given a chance. No, we shouldn't sell him for any price.
He's never kicked the ball for Arsenal yet.
However, Arteta has this mentality of if I don't like you or I don't rate you, it's going to be very difficult for you to get back in my good book. We saw that with Guendouzi. We've seen that with even with Mavropanos. Mavropanos is one of the best on-form players in Europe right now, and we're still only selling him for £3 million. But Saliba, I don't know. I really don't know. If Arteta's not here, if he gets sacked this season, then yes, I see Saliba definitely playing under whoever comes in as a new manager. But under Arteta, I don't know. I mean, Saliba wants those minutes. Will Arteta give him those minutes? Probably not. So it's a possibility that he leaves. But if he does leave, it's not good enough. Like, it's from top to bottom. Saliba should not be allowed to leave the club at all. And if he does leave, it's not going to be for a high price because his contract, he's only got 2 years in his contract when he comes back after this loan. So you're not going to get a massive price for him. So yeah, man. I mean, look, the first thing I'd be doing right now in January is making sure that he signs a new contract. You either bring him back off loan or you just, you start negotiating with him. But
yo, Sahal, what's going on, man?
I mean, I saw the press conference.
Sahal, you're gonna be there tomorrow?
Where? Sorry.
The game's in Leicester. You gonna go?
No, sorry.
Oh,
No.
okay. So enough said. Okay, so enough about Saliba, because I know Sahal, you've said it numerous times on stream. Gunnar Express, it's nice to hear that you believe Arteta and Arsenal will stick with Saliba, because I think you were saying he was going to get sold.
I don't think they will.
I think they're
Oh
gonna sell
shit!
him.
You haven't changed your opinion yet.
No, I think they'll sell him.
I think they're gonna sell him.
Arteta's a stubborn bastard. Like, as I said, if you're not in his good books for whatever reason, you have to do a lot to get back in his good books and be one of his favourites. And Saliba, Saliba's not the kind of guy to waste his time on Arteta. He'll just leave. He'll go to a different club. So, as you said, he's never played a minute for Arsenal, so he owes nothing to us. He doesn't owe us anything. So if an offer comes in from a decent team, he'll take it. Like, look, Kimpembe has been awful for PSG this season. The way that Saliba's just played against them, I wouldn't be surprised if they ain't looking into possibly buying him, because he's a good young French centre-back, and PSG love young French players. So I don't see him staying with Arteta. I mean, look, he could. I think it's definitely a possibility, but no, I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, for once, I disagree with Gunnar a little bit.
It's good, man. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt. I will introduce you.
Go ahead, Sahal.
All right. I was going to say, basically, I disagree with Gunnar a little bit there. It's the same thing, but my thing is, Arteta hasn't actually, there's not been one player where I can say that's been in his bad books and then now is a regular player. So I think Saliba is going to be one of those that, unfortunately, is going to be a very high potential player that Arteta just doesn't like for whatever reason, personality, whatever, they don't get along, whatever the reason might be, right? Because we can talk to the cows come home, and we have done that previously on numerous streams, right, about the Saliba thingy. I think the end of the day, what's going to happen, I agree with Gunnar in that one, where I think they just can't make up for whatever reason, and Saliba will be sold not next summer. He'll be sold next summer, 100%. no doubt in my mind, because unless Arteta gets fired, and that's the only way Saliba stays at Arsenal. That's the only way.
Okay. Let
That's the
me
only
let me
way,
just
Saliba.
stop you there, Sahal. Guys, next I want to talk to Neil about his ownership, because you might not have the most financially rich owners in Europe, but you have one of the best owners in Europe, and I want to know what makes them the best owners, and why are Leicester's owners so popular? Now, first of all, I just want to say RIP to your owner, man, the guy who passed away. Unfortunate accident. That was a scary moment in Leicester, and everyone must have been emotional about that. And I know he's in the picture. If you want, I felt like putting. I seen it on Twitter, so I grabbed the picture. I didn't mean to put the picture of him there. So if anyone takes offense to it, I apologize immediately. But yeah, Neil, tell me about your owner, man, and what makes him such good owners, man.
So basically, I remember again watching them for ages in terms of Leicester City, and I've been following this club for years, and they bought the club back in 2011. Before that, they had a sponsorship deal with the owner at the time, but so the current owner, who was Milan Mandaric, who apparently, allegedly, probably most likely, got done for tax fraud. So we had to sell the club. So we sold the club to the Thai owners, and I thought, here we go again. You guys have seen it in terms of like. The owners that come in promising the world, not going to do anything. And I thought, yeah, here we go. I mean, hopefully it can't get worse. Because at the time, we were struggling to fight off Championship again and again and again and again. Just like, I remember being 17th in this, because it's 2014 the Championship. I remember being 17th and thinking, thank God we didn't get drawn into a relegation battle. These guys came in and said, we're going to change that. And I went, yeah, whatever. And they've done everything. But literally, supporting this club is like winning the lottery, as in like in terms of our ownership. He's been unbelievable. They've just so good in terms of the way they've handled themselves through, again, even through that crisis. They could have, nobody wanted to sell the club, but everybody was kind of understanding if they did. In terms of the ownership, they've been fantastic. The first thing they did is came and set up the academy. They wanted the academy to thrive and be as good as it is. And now we're seeing the rewards of it now. I mean, you look at when we played a couple of days ago on Wednesday, we had 5 players, one from Arsenal's academy, Vontae Daly-Campbell, and actually 4 from Leicester, actually born in Leicester, raised in Leicestershire, and have come up and then have taken that step. So it's incredible, man. What he's done in terms of the way we've progressed slowly. We've not thrown loads of stupid money at it. We've done it the right way, and we've done it in a sustainable way. The money has been reinvested in the club, which is fantastic. We see Maguire. Actually, speaking of Saliba, we bought Fofana with some of that money as well. We sold Ben Chilwell 50 million. We got Timothy Castagne and Fofana for that price, for example. So we managed to find ways of bargains around that. And just in terms of what you guys are talking about in terms of Saliba, obviously he was partnering Fofana. And Fofana, you've seen he's come into that league and is taken off. Partly, I want to kind of throw the question back to you in terms of that. Do you think your training system is good enough to bring these players up to the top level? Because we've seen with Leicester, Fofana, fortunately, has hit the ground running. He's had a few different injuries along the way, which is not great to see. Obviously, the massive one recently, and we were absolutely gutted that happened. But do you think Arteta and your ownership is the best, can get the best out of him? Do you know what I mean? Because I don't think Fofana's a lot of the stuff you were saying, we were saying exactly the same about Fofana, but we bought him in. The idea was he was going to sit in the sidelines for a bit, and then we were going to introduce him into the team slowly. Sionchu got a hamstring injury or something like that for 4 months. He had to be thrown straight in, and he flourished under that. And apparently, out of the two of them, Saliba was supposed to be the one that was even better rated.
Gunnar Express Sahal, do you want to talk about the Saliba and Fofana comparison?
Basically, yeah, there's a lot of comparisons with the two of them. Of course, there's I think Wesley Fofana and Saliba are different players. I think, of course, Wesley Fofana, he's a great player, and I do see the quality and the potential in him as well. But even in that short time they played together, I think Saliba was a better potential-wise, in my opinion. And I think both players will have a great future. Maybe one day, I don't know is Wesley Fofana a French player? Is he French or internationally?
He's French internationally. However, there's just so much strength and depth in that French team.
Yeah. So
does he get into that team because of how many
I know
strong
it
players
sounds
there are.
ridiculous, but it sounds ridiculous, and even for Saliba, it's also a bit ridiculous saying that he be the future. But you never know. Like a couple of years time, the centre backs that we think they are good, they're not as good as my opinion. I think Upamecano ain't that great. I think the French centre backs right now ain't that great, actually, in my opinion. So except for Varane, I rate Varane, but the rest of them I don't rate them. So I think they got a chance to make in the French team. So I rate both of them very highly. And Wesley Fofana, I wish we got him as well, but we move on, and I think I'm happy with Saliba.
Didn't quite. You said they were different players, but what exactly makes them different?
I mean, what different?
So
I mean, the
let
difference
Guna
is
Express go on this one because
Go
I
on,
think
go on.
Guna Express watches both of them more. Guna Express.
I don't think particularly they're different players. I won't agree too much with that one. Obviously, when they were at Saint Etienne, they played mainly. I think it was a 4 at the back together, but they also, I think, like Saliba played 3 at the back because obviously Fofana came in this season after Saliba broke through to the team. So Saliba played, I think, a 3 at the back when he was on his own, and then when Fofana came through, they switched back to a 4. But the simple fact alone that both of these two lads, who at the time were, I think, 18 and 19 respectively, the fact that both of those two lads were able to hold down the defence together as a partnership proves how good they both are. The fact that both of them aren't even 20 and they can play together in a competitive league and keep a team like Saint Etienne up in that league, which they're struggling to stay up in the league now, proves everything that I need to know about both. I love Fofana. I think he's brilliant. I'd love him at Arsenal, but I know Leicester ain't going to sell him for cheap. I think Leicester have got a great centre-back in, obviously, Fofana. But Saliba, for me, is still better, only because he can play at the back, whereas Fofana, I don't think, can do that as well. Saliba also offers the fact that he is right-footed, but can play left centre-back and right centre-back, which not too many can do. As well, he can obviously play in a 3 at the back, which he's doing under Sampaoli right now for Marseille. So he's still a better player. Obviously, Fofana's proven that he can play in the Premier League and that he's succeeded so far. So I'd say he's succeeded more in terms of his move to Leicester compared to Saliba's move to Arsenal. But again, when it comes to France's future, I wouldn't be surprised if both don't play together again for France. I mean, like Sahal said, I don't rate Upamecano at all. I really don't think he's that good. I think if you saw the game against Gladbach the other day, he kind of proved that he's not that good. I think Kouyaté at Liverpool is a good French centre-back. I still think Saliba and Fofana have a higher potential, but that's just me. So I think both are great. I don't think they're too dissimilar. So I disagree with that, Sahal. But the thing that Saliba is struggling with right now is minutes. And it's the fact that Arteta doesn't want to use him. He wants to be used. He's obviously seeing Fofana getting that chance and taking that chance. And he's not getting a chance at Arsenal. So he's gone on loan. He went back to Saint Etienne, in which he played well. He's now at Marseille, in which he's playing well again. So it's now a matter of, does he come back to Arsenal and get that chance? Or do we sell him? And if we sell him, as I said before, I'll be furious because he's good enough to get in this team right now for me.
Okay, and I'm just going to go to the next part, which is I'm going to talk about the predicted 11 for Arsenal and the predicted 11 for Leicester. So do you have a general understanding of what formation you're going to play? Is it going to be the same thing? Because I have 2 lineups on the screen. I have one for Arsenal and one for Leicester. I'm going to show you what I have. So first, Let's do the Arsenal lineup. I'm going to show Sahal and everybody, if you guys agree, let me know if you agree with this lineup. People in the chat, let me know if you agree with the lineup also. So this is the lineup I've gone for. I've gone for Ramsdale, Takahiro Tomiyasu, Ben White, Gabriel, Tierney, or Tavares. It could be either one, in my opinion. Whichever one you feel like is. If Tierney's fit, Tierney plays. If Tierney's not fit, Tavares plays. Either way, it doesn't really matter. Then you're gonna go back. You're gonna go back 4 with a 4-2, and you're gonna have Lacazette and Aubameyang up top together. Smith Rowe and Saka on either wing. Partey and Lokonga partnering in the middle, and Lacazette and Aubameyang partnering up top. Do you guys agree with this lineup? People in the chat, let me know. And also, let me know, is it Niall or Neil?
Neil,
Neil,
like the English version.
Yeah. Do you? Would you be scared of this team with Lacazette and Aubameyang both in the team? Obviously, adds more of a goal threat. Would this be a team that you'd be more worried about than the team that we used to go out with, which was no Lacazette and maybe add another midfielder like Odegaard instead?
Yeah, I mean, so Smith Rowe on the right, I think is sorry, on the left is a weird one. And to be honest, obviously Saka, we know he's dangerous. Aubameyang, I think it doesn't. I'm not gonna. How do I say this? I'm not really scared of your lineup, but I'm like, it's a decent enough lineup that I'm like, okay, that they've got the potential to hurt us. Whether they can play with each other. I was speaking to Babs actually on our side. Shout out to Babs. And he was saying, in the first couple of minutes, we'll see what kind of Arsenal team turn up. And he goes, over a 90-minute period, you'll see after the first two minutes. The thing is, the way that we set up is slightly different. We'll probably come on to that in a bit, but the thing is, when you look at a lineup, you go, okay, that's one thing. When you see the perform, it's another thing. So I get what you mean, but at the same time, I've watched football too much to go, that lineup should be beating us, and we've beaten them. Do you know what I mean? And it just depends on because I'll tell you what, Leicester ground is quiet at the moment, but they'll be right up for when a team like Arsenal comes. I promise you. I don't know where Egal's gone. I don't know if I'm hosting it for now.
Yeah,
But
it's all right. It's all right. Maybe he'll be back in a minute.
No
Basically, I
worries.
think as
Hey, one
you
sec.
said,
Sahal, 1 second, yeah. 1 sec.
go on.
Everybody in the chat, there's bare dislikes on this video. Obviously, we can't really take them away, but make sure to like the video. There's about 40, 50 people in here, and there's only about 30 odd likes. So make sure you're liking it, share it with everybody as well, and subscribe to Egal's channel if you aren't already. But yeah, carry on, Sahal.
No, I was just saying about the Arsenal lineup. I mean, the only time we played that formation was Villa, and if you watch the Villa game, the performance, that was our best performance under Arteta, I believe. I think maybe Guna and Ika will have their own opinion about that, but that was a performance where I can say, yo, that is a good performance. Lacazette was playing like basically a midfielder, helping out the midfield, and we looked compact, we looked dangerous. The midfield, for the first time ever, I can say the midfield, we actually won the midfield battle against Villa. I know Villa have been up and down recently, but they have a great team, and usually we get dominated by Brighton, Crystal Palace in the midfield especially. So against Villa, it impressed me with Lacazette in the team. So I think Lacazette in the team, I think our midfield should do well yet again, and I think this is our best lineup now, and Arteta and the players have to come out and play with the same intensity. That's one thing we saw against Villa. We saw a lot of intensity, a lot of pressing. I mean, the game against Brighton, where we didn't press at all, the difference was like night and day against Villa. So I don't want to see the Brighton performance. I know performance matters. I want that Villa, where we pressed the living hell out of them. We kept losing the ball, and then we kept getting the ball back, and we made chances of that. We need to do the same thing again. The players can do it. Arteta can do it. They have shown us now. Now is to put the same standard. We need to win against Leicester. Unfortunately for you, we need to win because look at the table in our situation right now. We need to make a points gap on Man United. Teams like that, we need to get our European spot safe and guaranteed.
Okay, Gunnar Express, you already went when my internet cut out, right?
Nah, but you can move on and go. It's not that deep.
Okay, because I was just gonna say, okay, I'll let you go first on Leicester's team after my guy goes. 1 second, but people in the chat, do me a favor, smash that like button. I put a question in the chat. Actually, I put a question in the chat. Who do you think is more likely to win, Arsenal or Leicester? If you think it's going to end in a draw, that's not the question that I'm asking. I'm asking who do you think is more likely to win? That's what I'm asking you. I'm not asking you if you think it's going to be a win for Arsenal or if you think it's going to be a win for Leicester, because there is obviously the other option of a draw. But I'm saying forget about draw for a second. If you were to pick a winner, which team do you think is more likely to come out with the 3 points in this game? That's not the question I'm asking the panelists right now. Looking at Leicester's team. Oh, I've
linked it. That will be Leicester's team.
Pretty
much guaranteed that will be Leicester's team. Apart from Ricardo Pereira is out injured. So we'll have to see what happened. He's had a little bit of a knock. So maybe Castagna comes this side. Luke Thomas comes in. Vontae Daly-Campbell had a good game of recent. He got a little bit tired towards the end. So, but in terms of the back line, the midfield, the 3 players at the front, it will be this. Castagna, you might see move to this right-hand side, and because Thomas moved to the left. apart from that, I think this team is pretty much, I think, 80% there.
Wow. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. Ian Nacho's been good from the end of last season. A slow start to the season, but he's now starting to get better. Vardy has been carrying you guys. Madison has not been that good. Castagna and Pereira higher up the pitch, but you know what? You don't have the wingers to threaten us. I really don't look at them as. I don't really look at them as too attacking, in my opinion. Ricardo Pereira and Castagna. And your midfield, Tielemans, the guy who scares me.
I mean, I think I definitely disagree with you there. Iheanacho has been on fire pretty much since the beginning of February 2021 and the fans have been screaming for him to start. And finally, he's got the opportunity and he's took it with both hands. He's pretty much I think if you look at his goals and assists in terms of per 90, it's higher than Vardy's this season. It's literally, he's that good. Yeah, he's unbelievable. He's one of the most, I think, Mad About Foxes did something on Twitter. He goes, he's one of the most informed players in 2021, ahead of like Lukaku. Let me find it. I'll try and find it in a little bit, but fantastic statistic. Yeah, his form is unbelievable. Maddison, you're right. Maddison has been, the thing is, a lot of people are getting down on Maddison. This is not the first time that's happened to Maddison where he's kind of dropped ball a little bit. He dropped it basically this time last year in 2020. He had a period about 6 or 7 months where he didn't score or assist. And the problem is, if he keeps going in the way that he is, if he keeps going in the way that he can perform at top level, he's an unbelievable player. He's rivaling the likes of Grealish, Mount. He's better than them, but he can't keep it up over a whole season. He goes through his periods of unbelievable and not very good. And it's about finding his confidence, finding his rhythm. Unfortunately for you guys, Maddison is coming back into form. He's got a goal and an assist. I think he's got a goal and assist in his last couple of games now. I think he didn't score against Brighton, but that was a completely changed team. So Moria, I'd say, honestly, be wary of him. He's another one from the French national team. I know a lot of people were after him. He's a fantastic player. Again, he's not quite an Ndidi. He plays like in this double pivot with Tielemans, where Ndidi will play deeper and Tielemans will play as more than number 8. These two play alongside each other. If you're not careful in terms of Samore, if he gets the ball and he gets stopped and he gets traveling, he's really, really hard to stop. He's about 6'2" and he's just physical and he batters people out of the way. Against Man City in the cup, in the Charity Shield, he was taking on 4 players and getting past them, and I've never seen that in a Leicester player. It's unbelievable. Söyüncü, this is the main man here. The reason why our defense has been so terrible is literally because of this man. People will say about Söyüncü, people will say about Fofana, and I agree, both of them are great. But without this man, he is our anchor, he is our rock. He is the man that will he's led us to pretty much the victories that we've been on. Evans is fantastic. Daniel Amate, I think somebody's put in the car, we call him the Ghanaian excellence, because over the last couple of games, he's been absolutely phenomenal. Really one to watch out for. He won't do anything over the top. He won't, but he knows his position and he'll do that fantastically. Schmeichel, I think the only thing you got to watch out for, I think as Leicester fans will tell you, his distribution is not good. Apart from that, he's still a phenomenal, one of the top keepers in the league. Söyüncü is kind of in a weird phase at the moment, but with Evans back, it helps him boost his levels massively. Söyüncü is not the same player without Evans next to him. So in terms of that, yeah, I'd say one thing I'd want to ask you guys as well. How are you guys at set pieces? Because Leicester, since Brendan Rodgers has come in, plays zonal marking, and anybody that's half decent at set pieces ends up scoring them. So I want to ask how good you guys are.
We've actually been one of the better teams in the league this season at scoring from set pieces.
You will score from a set piece.
Because we have lacked the creativity. We have not been creating much chances. And against Crystal Palace, both of our goals were one of those dodgy, like Burnley type goals. Let's be real. In comparison to how we usually pass it out the back and get the goals from back to front, we've been scoring more of those kind of goals. And it's just like, if the way that you put it, you're saying if we try to attack you, you guys are going to come back and counter us. But if we just set a low block and end up scoring a couple goals from set pieces, like remember last year we scored our opening goal from a set piece, David Luiz, at your house, and then we ended up winning.
We were severely injured that game, but yeah, it was 3-1, wasn't it? Yeah. That was the point where we were hanging on by a shoestring in terms of injuries. We were dead. We were dead in terms of injuries. But you're right. Again, Tielemans got the first goal. I mean, Pablo Mari was all over the place for that first goal. But I remember, set piece wise, I think he went 2-1 up with a penalty from Lacazette before 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
And then
opening goal was from David Luiz, and then the final goal, Willian to Pepe.
I have to
Pepe
say
or
one thing.
Aubameyang?
No, Pepe. Pepe scored
Pepe
the winning
scored?
goal.
Yeah, Pepe.
Okay.
It was Pepe.
But
I have to say one thing.
Gunner Express. After my guy showed you the whole lineup and broke down everything, are you worried about that team on Friday? Because you were telling me your concerns about the game.
Well, yeah, obviously we've scored quite a lot of goals from set pieces this season. We got a new guy in from Man City. I don't remember his name off the top of my head, but he's a set piece coach, and he's definitely helped us more in defending and scoring from set pieces. So if you lot concede from set pieces a lot, then I see us at least getting a goal from that. Because again, I think we've scored the same amount of set piece goals already this season than what we scored throughout the whole of the last season. So obviously we've definitely improved.
Just Crystal Palace alone, we scored 2.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we only scored, was it 3 or 4 the whole of last season? And I think we've already scored that amount so far this season. But yeah, the attack obviously worries me. Jamie Vardy will always worry me until the day he retires.
Yeah, he scores every game against us.
Exactly. And even if he's, got bad form or whatever, and even now he's not on bad form, he's on some of the best form of the last, say, year or so. Yeah, I worry about him. Obviously, I worry about the midfield. Again, I love Soumare. I wanted him at Arsenal. I still kind of do. He's a bit of a beast. And I worry that if, depending on who we play, whether it's Lokonga or El Neni will get bullied by him. Lokonga maybe not as much. But yeah, we need to put Partey. Yeah, we need to put Partey on Soumare because obviously Partey is quite physical as well. But yeah, I'm not too worried. As I said, it's not the best Leicester lineup we've seen over a while. Obviously, injuries are a reason for that. If they had Fofana in that team, I'd be a lot more worried in terms of can we even score a goal? Because that's what we're not scoring enough goals right now, or at least when we are scoring, they're not the greatest of goals. So yeah, I think the main thing is just breaking down that Leicester defence, and with it being a 3 at the back, we caused a lot of problems last season for Luke. Was it Luke Thomas? So if he plays again, yeah, it might not be.
He was 19. He's a 19-year-old. He had about 4 caps. So
no, 100%. I'm not. Oh, 100%. I'm not trying to obviously rip him. But in terms of if he plays again, obviously with Pereira being out, whether it's if I'm basically saying if a youth player has to come in and play, whether it's Saka or Smith Rowe, they should on paper have that person on ropes, whoever it is. But yeah,
what you have to look at is Gunner Express. That team that we faced Leicester, when we faced them and we beat them 3-1, our team was heavily rotated. Their team was heavily rotated. We both were looking at the Europa League. So that was not really like a fair judgment. This game is going to be a fair judgment of how both our teams full strength, maybe not full strength, but like as full strength as possible. You know what I mean? But right now, I'm looking at your front 2, and I'm saying to myself, if you guys play a front 2 and you don't really have, and you have Madison in behind, you're going to you're gonna win the midfield. But are you going to be able to open us up if we set up a low block and we play defensive?
Is that how you think Arteta plays? I've not seen him play. Again, I don't watch him game in, game out, but is that how do you think Arteta will come to the key? Because again, there's still an air of, let's be real, we're still Arsenal Football Club. We don't go away to teams and put a low block in, Otherwise, you'll end up like Man United fans. You see how that's going at the moment.
Let me say this, though. Gunner Express and Sahal can vouch for me. When we go away for teams that Arteta respects the manager, we do that. When he respects the manager, we set up. We tend to play timid when we play teams like Brighton. We played Brighton, and you know what happened? The first 20 minutes, we're passing the ball around, doing our thing, and then slowly the game just changed. I don't know if it's the players' mentality or if it's the manager's mentality, but something changed in that game where it was like we looked like the inferior team. Against Crystal Palace, it was a toss-up, but at times we did look like the inferior team when it comes to playing on the ball. And if you guys are really good on the ball and you hold on to the ball and you try to kill us with possession, it could be a long night for us. But if you let us have the ball in your own house, it's not going to be a good night.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, to be honest. I think in terms of Leicester City, if you watch the Brighton highlights, as soon as they lost the ball, right, we're straight on them. I'm not saying that we're Man City or anything, but in a pre-match, in a post-match, Brendan Rodgers came out and said, "I want to win the ball back within 4 passes," and so he's playing that kind of style of football. When we play a 3-5-2, the reason why it's working is because of Johnny Evans, but also 4 at the back is not how we play. We saw it against Brighton. We set up 4 at the back, midfield diamond. It felt a bit. We're probably going to go with a 3 at back. That's our formation that's kind of going up and doing the thing at the moment. However, I think in terms of the way that we play and how we're playing, we've really got some form. We've got, again, like yourselves, we think we've got 4 wins on the bounce now. So it is looking positive and we're going in the right direction because of what we're doing and how we're going about things. Jamie Vardy is in form of his life. It will not be a 0-0. I think there'll be goals on either side. Our defense is a bit weak, but at the same time, I trust in our attack. I mean, if you look at, I think we're, again, just above you in the league, and you've got the same results as 4 wins, 3 losses, 2 draws, but you've got 10 goals and 13 conceded. So your defensive record is better, slightly better. And again, a lot of them was obviously in the 5-0. And 10, you've scored 10. We've scored 15 and we've conceded 15 at the same time. So we're on exactly 0. So it shows you at the same time that we can score goals, but we can ship them as well, especially as I was saying before, bomb set pieces.
Okay, so just to show you some of those statistics and who's out for the game on who scored, I'm just going to go to there, and then we're going to go to our predictions, guys, and wrap it up from here. So everyone in the comment section, put your predictions in the chat right now, and do me a favor, guys, smash that like button. Some of those spammers once again came in and disliked the video, so do me a favor and smack that like button. It really helps out the channel. So as you were saying, we conceded 10 goals. Have we only scored 9 goals? Is that right? That's weird. Okay. And then you guys have conceded 15 goals and scored 13. I don't know if this is all comps. I can't trust
I don't think this is all competitions. Also, in the Premier League alone, it's 15-15 for us. From what I've got on BBC, it's 10 and 13.
Okay, so yeah, those stats are wrong. They did predicted lineups, but this is what I really use them for. They're good at this, telling you who's out and who's in. So for us, we have Granit Xhaka out. Ben White's doubtful, but he could still play. Odegaard's doubtful, he could still play. Pablo Mari most likely will not play. And Kieran Tierney's 50-50. Fofana's out. Wilfred Ndidi's out. Albright's out. James Justin's out. Vardy's a doubt, but he's going to be in the team.
Vardy's confirmed. Brendan Rodgers confirmed he's fine for the game.
Okay, so he's going to be starting most likely.
Yeah.
Ricardo Pereira, same thing.
Ricardo Pereira he's more of a doubt.
Okay. So that is the team news. And then going on to if we learn from anything from our last visits away at Leicester, some of them have not been good. Let's be honest. Guys. Our visits to Leicester lately have not been good. For example, we got a draw in 2016. 2018, you beat us 3-1. 2019, you beat us 3-0. 2019, you beat us again 2-0 in the next season. 2020 League Cup, we beat you, and last year we beat you twice actually. So we beat you in the League Cup and we beat you in the league. So we beat you 3-1. So it's been about the last 6 times we played each other. Leicester have won 3 times, we've won twice, and you've drawn once. And in that time, you've scored 9 goals and we've scored 6. So Leicester have had the better of us in the last 6 games. Do you think they're going to do the same thing this week?
You're talking to me.
I'll go with you last. I'll go to Sahal first. Sahal, what do you think is going to happen against Leicester versus Arsenal?
I think if we park the bus, we can have a rough day like Brighton. I think Arteta, we need to play like Villa. Simple as high intensity, get the ball off them. Don't be scared. If the formation ain't right, change to a back 5. Be proactive, not reactive. That's what we need to do. Simple as, like, we play better when we go for it. We ain't good at sitting back. We're not good at that. That's not our forte. Our forte is attacking the ball, getting the ball, scoring goals, going for the goal lead. We need to do exactly what we did against Villa. Arteta and the team can do it. They've shown it now. It's time to put some proof in the pudding. It's time to show us what they can do.
Okay. What about you, Gunnar Express?
What's the question?
score prediction for the game.
Yeah, 2-1. As I said earlier, I see Vardy scoring because it's Jamie Vardy against Arsenal. It's a common thing. But then I see us winning the game. We'll probably score from a set piece. So I see a Gabriel header as one of the goals. And then I'll say Bukayo Saka to score the other one. But then a 2-1 win. But it'll be a very close game from start to finish.
Okay. What about you, my guy, Neil? Neil?
Sorry about that. Yeah, 3-1, I think, to Leicester. I think I'm going. I think with that, we were in a really good run of form at the moment. The King Power is really up for it. If you said we beat Man United 4-2, I would have laughed at you. But it's one of those things where if we get going and the crowd is on side and they're right up for this, I mean, the King Power turns into a right fortress. It really, really does. And especially with the big boys in town, tickets sold out, really hard to get in. There's a certain energy about the place. And it's going to be a great game. I think as a neutral, there's a lot of neutrals that are going to watch this because again, we're both on 14 points. Again, we're separated on goal difference. This is where we've seen about 10 games in where this is essentially a 6-pointer to see right who moves up the table and who moves down. And you've seen before where you guys have been getting results when you've been playing badly. Same with us. We've not been on form. We're starting to come into form just like you guys, but the performances are up and down. It's going to be I think it'll be down to the tactics. Again, if you talk about the midfield, I think with somebody like Tielemans, he's going to try and run the midfield. If you watch him, he's unbelievable, spraying balls left and right. He's got 2 goals in a row now and 2 worldies as well. So you're looking at the way we play. I think we're going to be a strong team. I don't think we're going to get pushed off the ball. We don't get scared. I mean, we lost Johnny Evans against Chelsea in the FA Cup final. Wesley Fofana went into the middle of a back 3 with Castagna to the right, and then Sionchi to the left, and we managed to keep a clean sheet. We don't know fear. You can come at us and throw everything at us. Look at the Man City performance. Yes, we conceded 25 shots, and yes, our defense was terrible. We didn't look scared at any point. We were ready to go. We were ready to fight. We didn't create enough chances. We didn't score enough goals, which is fair enough. But at no point did we back down and we're ready to go, right, we're out of this game. No, we were in it from minute 1 and we played until the last minute. And that's something you were going to expect as well. Jamie Vardy, look at the last goal for the Patson Daka goal against Man United. He was chasing that ball at 93 minutes to go and chase that ball, close down Wan-Bissaka and won the free kick for us to get the goal. He will be hounding Ben White and he will be handing Gabriel the entire time. He doesn't know how to let up. And if he does start to let up, then we've got Daka on the bench who can come off and he's been playing absolutely fantastically as well. I think he's got, last week or so, I think he's got about 5 goals in 3 games or something. And that's bearing in mind, he didn't even score in the last one. So 5 goals in 2 games. So we've got the strength and depth there. And we've got a real good squad in order to compete with you guys. So expect a really tough game. I'm not going to lie.
You're muted again.
Oh,
I don't know exactly what happened between everybody in the chat, but I think you guys can't be making jokes about. Come on, guys. Come on. Don't be making jokes about that kind of stuff. It's not cool. It's not cool. But yeah, let's get into it. Leicester, I'm not going to lie to you. I've seen your defensive issues this season. I've seen what you just told me about the set pieces. I've listened to everything. I personally watched Leicester a couple times this season. I haven't watched you every game, but I'll tell you this. From what I've seen, I think we can go to Leicester and give you a game. I think it's going to be a tight game. I feel like it could be a 1-1 game where both teams are in it and it could swing either way. Personally, if you go 3-1, I hear that. At the same time, if Arsenal won and 3-1, I would also hear that too. At this point, I'm going to go 2-1 Arsenal because I'm hoping for the best. I expect it to be a tight game. It could end in a draw, but I'm hoping for us to just nick that final goal and get enough to get over the line. Maybe like a penalty decision or some sort of luck from a set piece. But when it comes down to it, it's more heart over head. If I was going to pick logically, I'm going to tell you right now, I feel like this game is set up to be a 1-1 draw. That's the reality. I honestly feel like we're going to drop points this game. I just hope that it's not all the points. Right? But yeah. personally, I wish we could just get the 2-1 and walk away today. I'll take that. But if you ask anybody here a couple of seasons ago, last season when we went to your house, we weren't expecting to get 3 points. We were saying if we're lucky to win this game, and we won 3-1. So it's like I'm almost trying to say whatever I can not to jinx it. There you go.
I get you. It's football though. That's why we love it. If we can predict it every week, we'd just be like, you see Man City
The
win every
lineups
week. It's just
are
boring.
predictable now, though.
Yeah,
The lineups are definitely predictable.
But I think that's down to injuries, and also we rotated 10 players in midweek, and we still got through. I mean, we played a lot of academy players on Wednesday, and so you guys kind of have a game on us. And to be fair, I kind of prefer that, because if we've got Europa League and then we're coming into a Premier League game against a team like Arsenal who don't have Europa League or Champions League, that's going to bite us. The fact that you've had a game midweek and you've had to put out you put out not even 70%, like a 60% team. So you've had some changes, but we've had pretty much a full change. Yes, some of them played about 30, 40 minutes, but the fact that we've played at home and then we've come away and then we're back at home again. I mean, but as you guys know, bloody hell, man, the games are just coming thick and fast at the moment. Barely keep up with content.
Okay, I'm gonna go Aubameyang brace, Vardy to score. What are you guys going with? Sahal?
I'm gonna say 2-1. 2-1. I don't know. Aubameyang, Laka, and Vardy to score. Vardy to score against Arsenal.
Gunnar Express already said about Vardy to score, but who are the other 2 goal scorers for Arsenal?
Obama and Laka.
No, I'm talking to Gunnar Express now.
Oh, sorry, I thought you told.
Yo, Gunnar, you there?
Yeah, what's up?
Who are your goal scorers?
Vardy, Gabriel, and Saka.
Okay. What about you? Neil?
Vardy, Amate, and Tielemans.
Amate? Really?
We'll see. He scores a worldie once in a while. Let's just see. You just have to throw a random one out there every once in a while.
Yeah, I'm hoping we can get a 2-1 win. So I'm gonna go Aubameyang, brace, and Vardy to score. So yeah, that's my final prediction. I'm going 2-1. Forget about the 1-1. I'm going 2-1. But yeah, have yourselves a wonderful day, guys. Big up to Neil. Thank you for coming on. I put the link to your channel in the title of the video. So anybody who wants to click on that and go support his channel, that'd be great. Also, Sahal and Gunnar Express, thank you for coming. Gunnar Express also has a YouTube channel, guys. If you haven't checked that out, it's the Gunnar Express. Check that out. And you gonna know what, guys? Have yourselves a wonderful day. We're out of here for today. I'll be back tomorrow for the watch along. And you guys can join us before the watch along, and you can join us halftime throughout the watch along, whatever you want to do. But yeah, you have yourselves a wonderful day, guys. I'm out of here. Peace.